In the hyper-accelerated, dopamine-addicted culture of modern America, the ultimate sin you can commit against your own power is to be too available. You have been conditioned by the digital matrix to respond in seconds, to stay constantly visible, and to offer your presence to anyone with a smartphone and a moment of boredom. You believe that being accessible makes you reliable, or perhaps even important. But in this 58th chapter of our journey, we expose the accessibility trap. Familiarity does not breed respect, it breeds a quiet, subtle contempt. When you are always there, when your active status is a permanent green light, you become part of the background noise. You are no longer a person of value, you are a commodity. Christopher is here to remind you that in a world of endless noise, your scarcity is your only true leverage. If you want to be respected, if you want to be unforgettable, you must master the art of absence. You must learn how to become a ghost in a society that is obsessed with being noticed. If they can summon you with a single notification, they will never truly value your arrival. Every time you respond to a non-urgent message instantly, every time you say yes to an invitation out of a sense of obligation, and every time you post your location or your private thoughts for the masses to judge, you are devaluing your existence. You are leaking your psychological authority into a void that can never be filled. In Chapter 58, we initiate the shadow protocol. We are moving beyond the surface-level advice of digital detox and entering the cold, calculated realm of presence management. We are teaching your nervous system that unreachability is not an act of arrogance, it is the ultimate act of self-preservation for the high-value soul. When you vanish, you force the world to wonder. You create a vacuum that only your specific energy can fill. By the end of this transmission, you will understand why the most powerful person in the room is often the one who was the hardest to get there. The era of being a digital servant is over. The era of the strategic ghost begins now. Your silence is not empty, it is a fortress. The American dream has been replaced by a digital nightmare of constant engagement. But the law of supply and demand remains absolute, especially regarding your soul. When the supply of you is infinite, your value collapses. The matrix wants you to be a predictable node in the network, a constant stream of data, a reliable reaction, a cog in the social machine. But the wise man understands the scarcity principle. By strategically withdrawing your presence, you activate a primal psychological trigger in the minds of others, the fear of loss. When you are hard to reach, people naturally attach a higher premium to the moments they actually spend with you. Your words carry more weight because they are rare. Your presence commands absolute attention because it is a rare event, not a daily habit. This is not about playing games, it is about energetic sovereignty. You are protecting your frequency from the parasitic drain of the mundane. You are the protagonist of your life, and the protagonist does not appear in every trivial scene. Think of the psychological vacuum you create when you step back. When you stop responding, stop explaining, and stop being the first to reach out, you create a silence that others will desperately try to fill with their own imagination. In the absence of your data, people project their own insecurities and fascinations onto you. You become a mystery, a figure of intrigue, a mountain that must be climbed rather than a sidewalk that can be stepped on. In 2026, mystery is the rarest and most expensive resource in the Western world. Everyone is an open book with cheap, digital pages. But you are a vault. By being strategic in your absence, you force the world to earn the right to your time. You are shifting the power dynamic from the seeker to the sought. Remember, the stars are only appreciated because they are distant and light up the darkness. If they were reachable by every hand, no one would look up. Master the void, and you will master the respect of everyone around you. To implement the shadow protocol, you must first commit digital sabotage. Not by deleting your presence, but by destroying your predictability. The algorithms of modern life track your patterns, they know when you wake up, who you crave, and how quickly you fold under the pressure of a ping. To break these chains, you must become a ghost in the machine. Stop being the one who is always available. Silence your notifications. Let the phone ring out. Do not explain your silence. This is not ghosting out of immaturity, it is ghosting out of a pursuit of excellence. You are reclaiming the deep work zones of your brain that have been colonized by the attention economy. When you become unreachable, you regain the divine ability to think without the interference of the social frequency. You are no longer a node, you are an island of clarity. This is where your greatest ideas are born, in the silence of the unreached. This mastery of absence must extend to your physical social life as well. You must embrace the power of the strategic refusal. If an event, a conversation, or a person does not serve your highest mission, your absence is a far more powerful statement than your polite presence. When you are missing from the table, your name is whispered with more curiosity than when you are sitting there, contributing to the noise. You are cultivating an aura that signals to the world that your time is governed by a higher authority. People are naturally drawn to those who seem to have a world of their own, a world that is inaccessible to the common traveler. By being hard to reach, you are filtering your reality. You are keeping the energy vampires at bay while inviting fellow sovereigns to find you. The shadow you cast in your absence is far more influential than the light you provide when you are too easy to find. Real power is knowing when to vanish. What happens to the human brain when you decide to disappear? When you stop seeking the constant dopamine hits of social validation, your nervous system undergoes a profound transformation. The state of hypervigilance, that constant itch to check, to reply, to be validated, begins to dissolve. Your cortisol levels stabilize, and your sovereign focus returns. You are no longer living in a state of reaction. You are moving into the state of the hunter, calm, observant, and dangerously silent. In the United States today, the average focus is shattered into 1,000 shards by the hammer of constant connectivity. But the strategic ghost possesses a mind that is a laser, not a scattered light. Your absence from the digital noise allows your prefrontal cortex to reclaim its throne. You are rewiring your brain for dominance while the rest of the world is rewiring theirs for distraction. Furthermore, your absence creates a chemical shift in those who have taken you for granted. When someone who is usually available suddenly becomes unreachable, it triggers a dopamine withdrawal in those who rely on your attention to feed their own ego. They begin to crave your presence. They begin to value your words more deeply. They start to respect your boundaries without you ever having to raise your voice. This is silent authority. You don't need to argue for respect, you simply withdraw your energy until respect is the only currency they have left to offer. Christopher's protocol is about high-voltage influence. By being the one who can walk away and stay away, you become the most powerful person in any negotiation or relationship. He who needs the least, leads the most. Your absence is the ultimate leverage. It is the blade that cuts through the static, leaving behind a legacy of strength and mystery that words can never achieve. As we conclude this 58th chapter, I want you to embrace the sanctuary of the unknown. The modern world will tell you that if you are not visible, you do not exist. This is the ultimate deception. In reality, it is only when you are invisible to the masses that you truly begin to exist for yourself. Your value is not determined by the number of eyes on you, but by the clarity of the vision you have for yourself. You are a sovereign ghost, a presence so heavy that it does not require a screen to manifest its power. You have moved from digital clutter to crystalline clarity. You look in the mirror and you see a man who is unfindable to the unworthy, but unforgettable to the elite. You have reclaimed your time, your focus, and your mystery. You are no longer a puppet to the notification, you are the master of the void. And in that void, you have found the ultimate freedom. Carry this wisdom of absence into your daily life, treat your presence as a rare and precious resource. Guard your accessibility like a state secret. Disappear into your craft, your growth, and your silence without a hint of apology. Never allow the noise of the masses to convince you that being always there is a sign of strength. It is a prison cell. You are a creature of the heights, and the heights are solitary and silent. The transmission of the 58th is complete. The Shadow Protocol is now active. The world may look for you, but they will no longer find the man you used to be. You are exactly where you need to be, at the center of your own unshakable sovereignty. This is Christopher, ending the broadcast for the Ghost King within you. Stay unreachable. Stay deep. Stay sovereign. The void is not empty, it is full of your potential. Rule it well. The strings are cut, and the king has taken the throne in the shadows. We will speak again, if you are still listening.